اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the creator of the universe, who has given us the blessings that if we were to count, we won't be able to. One of the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, which on the Day of Judgment we're going to have to be answerable for, is the blessing of being a youth. On the Day of Judgment, you're going to be asked, in what form, in what shape did you spend the time that was allotted to you as a youth? When we look at the traditions, we don't see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask an old man, how did you spend when you were old? Because being old, when your knees hurt and it's hard to climb up the steps, to do regular day-to-day tasks become difficult. Blessing of being a youth is that you have the strength to be able to utilize that strength in the direction that you wish. You're not bound by anything. So, if one of our youths, on the Day of Judgment ends up saying, yeah, so the question is, how did you spend your youth years? He says, well, I spent 4 hours on PS4 or Xbox One. I spent 3 hours on Facebook. There were so many WhatsApp messages that I couldn't count, so most of the time I was either receiving messages or I was sending messages. I had to finish certain seasons of, all the TV shows that you guys watch. I had to watch a particular show and I had to finish all of the 3 seasons, and one season I finished in one day. Those answers are not going to be very good. Majority of you are spending your youth that way. There probably are some that are not like that. Let's see, people who don't have Netflix, raise your hands. Okay. That's amazing. Who don't have a Facebook account? Okay. WhatsApp, who doesn't have WhatsApp? Okay. Who doesn't have a phone? Who does not have a phone? Like a personal phone? I don't know, you guys, okay. So, with the poll that we took, or the answers that I got from you, majority of you are spending your time that way. And before you know it, you're going to be getting out of the phase of a youth. You're going to start seeing some white hair, losing hair. You're going to get to a point where your body is not going to be able to function as it did before. If I was to say to you, on the Day of Judgment, if you were to say this, that in my youth, I did not miss a single prayer. One prayer, 2 rakat of yours, compared to an old man's 2 rakat, is the same as a regular person praying namaz versus the prayer of Imam Ali alayhi salatu. The difference between my 2 rakat salah and your 2 rakat salah is the difference between a regular person praying 2 rakat versus Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam praying 2 rakat. Can you imagine the difference? The worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is performed while a person is young has the stature of the worship that is performed by a masoom. Can you kind of comprehend? The reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given that much status to the worship of a youth is because when you are young, it is difficult. As you get older and you see white hair and you get to be like 50, 60, 70 years old and you decide, oh, I'm going to start prayers and I'm not going to miss a single one, hoo-ha, big deal. Because you're already seeing the grave, you've got maybe 5 or 6 more years left and you started praying and you're not missing a single prayer, oh, big deal. But when you are young and you have all of these aspirations and energy that you can utilize and divert, when you decide to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reward of that is incredible. Okay. So now, the topic that I was thinking about that I can talk about in the next 2 hours, which is not going to be, of course, 2 hours today. It's going to be maybe an hour today and an hour tomorrow. So, yeah, you can have a sigh of relief. Is you. My topic is going to be you. Okay? And I think there should not be any more interesting topic than the topic of you. So I'm going to 2 hours talk about you. I'm not going to talk about I'm going to talk about you. The question, who you are, is one of those questions that are, even though many people have answered it and there's a lot of discussion about who you are, if I was to ask you who you are, my sisters will say, my name is Fatima, my name is Zahra, my name is Zainab. Hey? If I say to the brothers who you are, you'll say, my name is Muhammad, my name is Hassan, my name is Ali. You know why us parents gave you those names? Do you know? One is that we have our love with Fatima, with Hassan, with Hussein, with Ali, with Zainab. We want to hear those names all the time. And the other reason is that we've given you these names so that you can decide sometime in your life to become like your names. So let's see how many Fatimas we have. Okay, 3. Nobody here on this side. How many Muhammads do we have? Ali, Hassan, Hussein. Come on, we should have Hussein. So the ones that are named Fatima or Zainab or Muhammad or Ali or Hassan or Hussein, make a goal in your life to at least learn about them, who they were, so that you can become them. One thing I will say about the sisters whose name is Fatima, it has been narrated in the traditions that parents are encouraged to name their daughter Fatima, but just naming their daughter Fatima comes with a big responsibility, because you cannot treat that person like just like another child. Yeah? So if your parents are here, the ones who are Fatima, when you want to tell them to stop doing something, you have to say it in a respectful manner. You cannot shout and scream or say words that are inappropriate because of the respect of that name that you've given to your daughter. And it's the same thing if you have named someone Zainab, because Bibi Zainab sallallahu is also known as Saniya Zahra, the second Zahra. Your names are holy. Of course, Muhammad, your names, Hassan, Hussein, these are holy names. My advice to parents is that, yes, we selected these names because we love these beings and we want to hear their names, but it comes with a responsibility. We need to make sure that our children reflect the names that we have given to them. And they're no more than just mirrors. They will reflect of who you are. You know how sometimes parents, they say to me, what would be a way to raise your children in the West? My advice to them always is, however you want your children to become when they're young, become that. And they will. So the topic of you, one place I wanted to start with to see like if you guys have some science knowledge, because as you know I love science and I like talking about it. Do you know what your bodies are made of? Bones, flesh. Oh, good, thank you. You know the building block of your bodies is? Atoms. Well, there's smaller particles as well, but we'll say atom, okay? Do you know what the carpet is made of? Atoms. You know what your hijab is made of? Atoms. You know what your cell phone is made of? Atoms. You know what your PS4 is made of? Atoms. So, if all of the things that we mentioned are made of atoms, then what differentiates you from a PS4, from a carpet, from the hijab you're wearing and so forth? What differentiates you? This carpet is also made of atoms, so is this hand. What differentiates from me from this carpet? Yeah? One is living and one is not. Okay. Yes? One is what?
One has
a soul and the other does not. Okay. What if I was to tell you that the carpet is also alive? It's not one of those magic carpets that, you can sit on it and fly away somewhere. What if I was to tell you your hijab is also alive, your cell phone is also alive? If I was to say that to you, what would you say to me? Yeah, okay, don't have to say it. يُسَبِّحُ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Whatever is in the heavens and the earth, meaning whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, is doing the tasbih, the glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can something which is dead do the tasbih of Allah? Could it do it? Something that's dead, that's not alive, could it do tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Really? Could it? Something which is dead? Something which is alive can do tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because to do tasbih you need to have knowledge, you need to have love, you need to have an understanding, you need to be able to recognize the qualities of that being that you are doing the glorification, and you also have to have choice. Yes or no? If everything in the universe is doing the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we have to start looking at the definition of how we classify something to be alive and something to be dead. What is our definition of something to be alive? Can breathe, walk, talk, eat food, water. Yes? The plants are alive, sorry? Oh, they actually do. They are intelligent, they can hear. The latest research says that the flowers can hear the buzzing of the bee, and then once they hear the buzzing of the bee, they start making their nectar sweet. Or they will have pollen. So not to get into too much sci-fi, but just, I'll make the statement and you do the research. Okay? So the definition of life that we have is kind of a little bit skewed. The definition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have of something which is alive is quite broad, and it actually encompasses all of this universe. You know that the stones are doing tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? the stones were doing the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Holy Prophet made the ears of that person open up and he could hear the tasbih of the stones in the hands of the Holy Prophet. Okay? Just we can't hear it because our ears that are there to hear that tasbih are blocked. Okay? So far with me? The Holy Prophet has said that a person dies 3 types of death. Okay? With me? The Holy Prophet said that a person dies 3 types of deaths. How many types of deaths do we think that we can die? You know? It's only one. The Prophet is saying 3. That means maybe the concept of death to us is a little bit skewed, narrow. The Prophet is saying 3, we're saying 1. The Prophet said the first type of death that a person dies is when their body is disconnected from their soul. That's 1. The second type of death a person will die is when their soul is disconnected with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the soul is disconnected from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Holy Prophet says that it is a dead soul. يُصَبِّحُ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Every single thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created is doing the tasbih, is in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. When a person stops the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gets disconnected, the Prophet says that he's a dead person. In our words, that person will be a zombie. The environment that you and I live in, we live among zombies. An atheist or an agnostic is a zombie. According to the Holy Prophet, that person is not alive. Even if that person achieves the status of becoming the best of the best scientist in the world, who ends up saying that science has eliminated the need of a God, doesn't matter, just a zombie. The third type of death, the Holy Prophet said that a person would die, is the death of a community. When a community is disconnected from Amr bil Maruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. If among you do not have the courage to be able to tell someone or invite someone to do good and to refrain them from doing evil or bad, then it's a dead community. Even if you have 200,000 people part of your community. So you see, how many lives would a person have then? See? How many lives would a person have then? If there are 3 types of deaths? 3. When the soul is connected to the body, when the soul is connected to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when the community is connected to Amr bil Maruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. So if you really want to be alive, what's the solution? If you really want to be alive, what is the solution? Ji?
Believe in Allah and always try to accept others.
Right. So believe in Allah meaning that have the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when you have the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course you're going to accept everyone as the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I will accept that from my brother as well. So if you really want to be alive and be differentiated from other things, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you can do, other things cannot do. Not to that same level or extent. With me so far? Okay. So, your body is made of atoms. It comes together, it makes molecules and then cells and so forth and so forth. Right? True? Okay. And this body of yours obeys the laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, that we have discovered in physics, in chemistry, in what other sciences do we have? Biology, in medicine, right? These sciences that we have discovered, our body obeys or goes along the laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, which you study in your universities or schools and so forth. But there is another part of you that is actually non-matter. That thing which is non-matter is inside of you, which is managing your body. Do you know what that is? Yes. Your soul. Huh? Yes, sir? No. Okay. Actually, what is inside of you that is managing your body, the word soul we can use, but what it is that all of the atoms, when they vibrate at a particular frequency, they create something of an energy which is inside of you, which is still matter, but a very slim or thin form of matter. It's more like on the spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum that we have. You know about the electromagnetic spectrum? You know radio waves? Yeah? What are radio waves? How do you use them? I can't see the time, so I don't know how long I've talked, so just your faces would be my clock now, okay? Because the clock is on this other side. You know the electromagnetic spectrum, the radio waves? When do you use those radio waves? Your cell phones, right? Your cell phones, your sound and everything is transferred through radio waves. Can you see them? Can you see radio waves? No. Can you tell me that whether radio waves exist right now or not? Huh? Can you tell me? Yeah? You're looking at your cell phone, when you have those 4 bars, you know that the radio waves, the signal is there. Okay? So inside of you, that which is, in Arabic we'll call it jism mithali, which is a body which is just like this body of yours. But it's on a very lower scale. It's not solid, it's not liquid, and it's not gas. Okay? It's created through, it's sort of like a radiation that is created through movement. It's another form of energy. With me? Yes, no? Okay, because remember the topic is you. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about you. Okay? If you want to, ever want to feel that jism misali, you want to try something? I know last time I was here, we had a table and I had a chair. Today you put me on the mimbar, and it's a little bit difficult to do all of the stuff that we could do before when we were sitting on a table. So anyways, just to show you that there is something else inside of you and it's not just this. Do you want to try something? Yeah? Because it is for the youths and it is for the children, so, and the elders that are there, just humor me, it's okay, you know. So let's try this, okay? Bring your hands a little bit like this, like about 5 or 6 inches. Okay, keep them there. Okay, now try to bring them a little bit closer, slowly. 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 Do you feel anything in between your hands? Yes. Can you see it? Yes. No, can you feel it? Yeah? What is it then? It's not solid, it's not gas, it's not liquid. Doesn't it feel like magnet? Like it's like a pull? Yeah? Doesn't it? Like when you bring what is it, 2 opposites, right? Opposites attract? Yeah, so opposite attracts. And what happens is same pole, negative. They repel, right? Yes or no? The same repel and the opposites attract, right? So that's like a property of magnet. How come you can feel it? You know, the electromagnetic radiation that your electrons are producing is actually making that electromagnetic field around you that you just started to make a focus or attention, and you can feel it. Yeah? So that which is inside of you, which is jism misali, is kind of made of that. When a person dies, they've done experiments where a little bit of weight gets reduced at the time of death. Okay? So, yeah? So this what is inside of you is actually managing the rest of your body. With me so far? Your soul is actually somewhere where there is nowhere, it's not bound by time or space, it does not have a shape, it's not made up of things. It's called Johar. Johar is mujarrad. Mujarrad means that it's not made up of things, it's just singular. Okay? With me? Okay. Where do you feel pain? When you feel pain, where would you feel it? Okay, let's say if I don't have a needle, otherwise I would poke it for you. If I poke my hand with a needle, where would I feel the pain? Huh? In my hand, on my finger? But actually the pain is not there. You know, all that has happened is with that pin, there's a signal that went to my brain that you have a hole in here now. Who felt the pain? Not your body, not your brain, but your mind. Can you see your mind? No. You know, like if you say that mind is brain, when you do the neurosurgeons, when they do the brain surgery, they should be able to find somewhere happiness, no? Like you cut the brain and you see happiness in there. Have you guys seen that movie? What's that movie's name? Inside Out? Which one was it? Inside Out, right? Where the emotions are little cartoons and yeah. Okay. So pain, happiness, sadness, remorse, guilt. I really want to play PS4. I really want to play Xbox. I want to finish the season off. I don't know why, but no show is coming to my mind for you guys. Huh? Flash? Yeah. I want to watch Flash. I want to have a cup of coffee. I want to have a chocolate bar. Where do you think that is happening? In your brain? In your mind. So if it is happening in your mind, haven't you heard people say control your mind? If it's happening in your mind and you can control your mind, then if you want chocolate, you can also say to yourself, I don't want chocolate. Yeah? If your mind is saying, I want to play PS4, you can say, I don't want to play PS4. So if you do choose to play PS4 for 4 hours, whose choice is that? Yours. If you choose to pray your Fajr Salah, whose choice is that? Yours. Does that mean that because you are 7 or 8 or 10 or 15 or 16 or 17 years old that you do not have a choice? When you can choose whether you want a mango ice cream or you want mint? If you can choose between a mango ice cream and a mint ice cream, do you not think that even if you are 7 years old, you can choose to wake up for Fajr prayers? Because a lot of the times, you know the excuse that the youths end up giving? I'm just a child, what do I know? What do you mean, what do you know? You know almost everything. Like if I was to ask you about the game that you play, you know the names of the characters, you know what is the first level, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level. You have so much information about all of the basketball players, you know all the top movies that are out there, you know you can verbatim tell me about what happened in Flash season 1. Our excuses that we give that we are just a child or we're just a youth are actually not founded. If they were founded, if they actually meant something, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not have placed such a big reward of a person when they are young that they were to worship. Yeah. What is the other emotion that you have that everybody chases after? Huh? Happiness. Thank you. Who said that? Oh. It was one of the elders. Everyone chases what? Happiness. Where is happiness? In your mind. Who decides that this is happiness? You. No one else can decide what happiness is but you. Can you learn to be happy, or you just are happy? You just are? Happiness is actually a skill. You have to learn to be happy. It just doesn't happen all of a sudden. And who controls that? Who has the choice? You do. Okay, I'll do the experiment. Say to yourself, I'm happy. Just with a fake smile. Say to yourself, I'm happy. Now the sisters are, where's the brothers? Come on, it's okay, it's just an experiment. Say to yourself, I'm happy. You're happy? Now, say to yourself, I'm sad. Who had the choice? You did. And where was happiness? Was it outside? Like, okay, let me see. Oh. Is this happiness? Come on then. Is this happiness? No, why is it not? Because it's outside. Where was happiness? What do we say? Where is happiness? In your mind. Yes or no? But are you happy looking at it? No, it's just a pretty nice phone. People who seek happiness outside, they will never be happy. If you think that if you were to get the best phone out there, the best car out there, if you were to get $1 million or $1 billion or become, what's his name, Bezos? I always mispronounce his name. No, not Bill Gates. Bill Gates is not rich anymore. Bezos, right? Yeah, $136 billion, or close to $150 billion net worth. If you think that you can become that and be happy, that money is outside. You know the power to say to be and it becomes, that you already have. Say to yourself, I am happy, you are happy. Say to yourself, I am sad, you are sad. Say to yourself, I am bored, you're bored. The problem with youth is they get bored so fast. Their attention span, do you know, this is, I don't know what time I started, and just tell me till what time can I read? Allah? No, you can't say like this. 20 more minutes? Okay, so what was I saying? Huh? What? Oh, right. Attention span, that's right, yeah. that was on purpose. In the 70s, they did the experiment on finding out what was the attention span of a regular human being. It was between 20 to 30 minutes. In the 90s, it started to reduce, after 95 especially, when the internet was there. 2017, that's not far away. Guess what is the attention span of a human being? No. Huh? 2? No. 8 to 12 seconds. Your attention span 8 to 12 seconds, and I can prove it. If you have LTE, try to upload one of the websites that's, little bit bigger website or in a different language. You see that blue bar when it comes? If it stays there longer than 2 seconds, you're impatient. You know the blue bar when it tells you that it's loading the page? If it's there more than 2 seconds, you get impatient. My internet's not working fast enough. Right? So if your attention span is going to be 8 to 12 seconds, guess how many times you're going to get bored in 1 minute? 60 seconds, right? 5 times you're going to be bored in just 1 minute. Because you would have lost interest in 8 to 12 seconds. Do you think someone who gets bored that fast can ever be happy? So the millennials or the X generation, whatever you want to call yourselves, you are going to be the most depressed generation since human beings have been on the face of this earth. There are 11-year-olds, 12 years old who are on antidepressants. The amount of suicide that has been committed in US and Canada has grown by 36% in a very, very short span of time. The younger the kids that are using drugs has a tremendous amount of growth in that. The people who are now going and seeing psychiatrists are becoming younger and younger. Why? Because they're chasing after happiness that they get bored in 8 to 12 seconds. And guess who did it? Who did it? You know what did it? Is this. The next big thing, or the next best thing, or your PS4 did it. Your Xbox did it. These tools were never designed to actually make you happy. They were designed to make you get bored as soon as possible. Don't you see, like in your games, how fast the scene changes? Like if you're playing Call of Duty, I don't know if you guys play Call of Duty or, no? Fortnite. $7 million they make like in 1 day or something. That's on one iOS, like one system. 7 million is less, no? It should be more. On one iOS, like on one operating system. So if somebody would say to you that if you get the next best thing and you are playing Fortnite or you're playing your PS4, Xbox, you're going to be happy, they're actually deceiving you. It's getting you primed up for stress and depression and boredom. You know what to do? To kill time. You want me to do an experiment? I can. If I was not sitting on the mimbar and I was to go away from you, which I can't do right now because I might trip and then come back again. And just leave you on your own. Like everybody just on their own for 30 seconds. If I don't see 70% of you take your cell phone out, I'll be surprised. Like just for 30 seconds, you will not be able to bear non-function, not plugged in for 30 seconds. In your homes, I haven't visited your home, but if I was to come, I'll see the father is on his phone checking emails, the kid is on their phone checking their Facebook account, the mother is checking recipes on YouTube, the brother is like doing something else on their either computer or on their cell phone, and they're all sitting together in the same room, but they don't want to look at each other's faces. They do not want to talk to each other. And this is their family time. Do you think that family will be bonded and become strong that way? If you as youths, as sons and daughters of your parents cannot spend 5 minutes with them without actually holding a phone in your hands, what love can you give to your parents when they get old, when they are going to be in need of you? I'm sorry, but this is where we live. You want to do homework for tomorrow? Because I have you for another 1 hour. Because remember, we're talking about you now. Right? Let's do this homework. From today till tomorrow, do not go on your phone. Put your phone in a lockbox. No check. I want to see if you're still alive tomorrow. Okay? And don't worry, you will still be alive tomorrow. You will still be here. Hopefully you'll be here. You decide not to come, that's a different story. For one day, if you, I'll stress this and I'll tell you, if for one day, if you were to leave your phone, your Xbox, your PS4, your laptop, for one day, so the next day would be 24 hours by the time I come here. So in 24 hours, if the parents did not get closer to their children and the children got closer to their parents, I will do whatever you ask me to do. If your family life does not change in one day, in 24 hours, whatever you want me to do, I will do it for you. 24 hours, not more. You want solutions? You want to have a better family life? You want to have more bonding, more love? You want to have your children listen to you, respect you? You want to do all of these things? You try this for 24 hours, do this. If it does not produce its results, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. No Wi-Fi. If you say, oh, I still have to do my homework. Well, today is what, Saturday? Or is it Friday? Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's off. Oh, I have an assignment. Don't worry about the assignment. It's okay. You have Sunday to do your assignment. And even if you miss out on one of your assignments, but you got closer to your mother, is that not worth? Oh, no. My assignment is more important. No. So, let's see the participants, okay? And you have to be honest, because Allah SWT is watching, He's hearing, Imam Zawar will get all the report. How many of you are willing to participate in this homework? And if you can't do it, don't raise your hand. This is your contract to me, to Imam Zaman to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's watching and hearing you. The older sisters are not raising their hands, don't you want? Okay? And we're going to seal this contract with a loud salawat. Okay? I had more hands than this salawat, so it's like, sealed, done. 24 hours. And then when you come back tomorrow, I want to hear your stories. Okay? I want to hear your stories that how you were able to spend your time. Okay? Good? And please, it's not a, it's not, don't take it lightly. This is a promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the Imam of the time, you're going to do it. And if in 24 hours, if you still survived, and you will find that, it is possible. You don't have to just carry on. And you know what will happen in 24 hours? You will talk to your mother, you will talk to your father will talk to you, and your mother will talk to you. And when you are sitting in the living room and you don't have your devices, you will look at each other. And when you look at each other, you'll find, look at my mother, she's so beautiful. She's so pretty. When I look at her, I feel so much at peace. It's her love that I can see in her face. The fathers will look at their daughters and their sons. Look how grown up they have become. They were just this little. It seems like I'm looking at my son after a year. And when you don't have any of these things, you will talk to each other. The parents will ask the children, how was your day? They will say, okay, this happened, that happened. And just in 24 hours, you'll see your lives will change. The solutions are there for you. Who's willing to actually take them? The solutions are there. Who's willing to actually take those solutions? When Maulanas come, they give you a speech, they're very good speech, alhamdulillah, we got inspired. And then right after the Maulana is finished, or even during the speech, you take your phone out again, and when you go home, you're the same person. When you come back the next day, you're the same person. It's the same issues we are facing. It seems like a rut, it seems like a vicious cycle or a wheel. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. The food is here, so I think it's time for me to end it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the wisdom and the courage to be able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that your worship are counted as the blessings on the Day of Judgment, where you are able to answer the question. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you how you spent your youth, you'll have a good answer. May you become the friends and the followers of the Imam of the time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the love between you and your families and among each other. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wal asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr.